Animal glue is an essential part of the conservator and restorer's toolbox. Traditionally, it's kept warm in double-skinned pots, but in my experience, these all have their disadvantages. However, this is an idea which I've found to be extremely useful over the past 20 years or so. You actually use 60 milliliter syringes. The glue is placed into the syringe. Those are the little granules, and they're placed into the syringe, topped up with a little bit of water, and then they put into the heater. Now, one of the big advantages of this is it keeps the bacteria from settling in this glue, and anyone who's used this glue will know that once the bacteria settles in it and given enough time, it becomes putrid. Yeah, so these keep it completely isolated from bacteria, which means that once you've made your solution up, you don't have to put it into the fridge. Some of these, this one in particular, that one there has been made up for probably about 4 months, and it's still ready to go. Now, what I'm using here is a 60 milliliter syringe, and what I do is I carve a little piece of wood, which then bungs the hole up, just like that. I place the granules. This is hide glue, animal glue granules. Place them in there, top it up with water, put the plunger back in, and then heat it. Now, once it's all liquid, it can then be left in the syringe, as I say, for 5 months, 6 months, something of that sort of order, without refrigerating it. But the other big advantage of this is that you can have different concentrations of animal glue. Now, I find if I thin the animal glue down, so it's really runny, you can probably see those little bubbles inside there, and this is room temperature. I put a little bit of methylated spirits into it, and that reduces the surface tension. And then I have a hypodermic needle stuck in the end. Of course, I've taken the sharp bit off, and I use this to introduce the glue into joints where the glue has crazed and is a little bit weak. And one of the properties of animal glue is that it can be reactivated really easily. All it needs is a little bit of moisture, and that's what this provides. Now, as the surface tension is being reduced, it will creep into the joints, or in as far as bubbles are concerned in veneer, it can be introduced into the underneath the surface of the veneer. Now, if you introduce a concentrated form of glue under the bubbles, that glue is going to eventually evaporate and dry out, which means there's going to be more solids in there than you really need. So when you do your repairs to veneer and the like, you need to minimize the amount of solid in the glue, and that gives you this advantage if you have it in one of these little containers. I do hope that you find that interesting.